Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and welcome to Harrison Smith, episode 3. At the end of episode 2, our man was still struggling to understand that Denise really doesn't own a mobile phone. He was still making regular promises to call Denise and not doing it, and she told him that she doesn't like a man that tells lies. And, of course, she still has that Steam card and he still wants the number on the back of it. Our man kept trying to tell Denise to type out the number on the back of the card, and Denise kept telling him that if he called her, she'd read it out to him. "Even I can make calls on here, so I'm sure you can," she said. "That's because you're not working," he said. "Well, you clearly aren't working either," said Denise. "You spent over an hour talking to me on here." "I'm not going to ask of that any more," he said. "Can give it to your kids." Not much later, he came back and decided that he would try and call Denise. "Copy the card down already," he told her. "I'm going to call you in 5 minutes' time." "If you say so," said Denise, "but I'm up in the kitchen again." "Just copy the numbers down already," he said. "You wrote the numbers down already, darling?" he asked. "I've got the card here," said Denise. "I mean, write the numbers down on a piece of paper," he said. "Why can't I read them off the card?" asked Denise. "No," he said. "Why not?" asked Denise. "I can't copy that down here," he said. "You can't write it down if I read it off the card, but you can write it down if I read it off a piece of paper. That doesn't make sense. It's the same number." "You can't it out to me. Write it down," he said. "What?" "I mean, write it on a paper," he said. "Write the numbers completely on the paper." "Why?" said Denise. "It won't change, unless you want me to write something different from what's on the card." "Oh my God," said our frustrated and very confused man. "Tell me why it would be different if I write it on a piece of paper. Won't it be the same number that's on the card?" she asked. "It's the same number," he said. "I thought it was," replied Denise. If any of you can tell me what logic was going through this chap's mind at the time, do please comment below, because I have absolutely no idea. "I'm going to read it to you when you call," she said. "Oh my goodness," he said. "You can't read that to me." "Why not?" she said. "I'm sure I can." "It's better you type it here. How can I be on the phone with you and type it down?" he asked. "You can write it on a piece of paper," she said. "Where do you want me to get that?" he asked. "You're just impossible, darling." "From wherever you keep your paper in your office," she said. "The printer?" "You don't understand things," he said. "And you told me you'd call in 5 minutes. That was more than 5 minutes ago," said Denise. "I'm going to call you, but let me do the research already." "Let me have it redeemed first," he said. "I can't call if I don't redeem it." "Liar," said Denise. "You called while I was in the kitchen." He'd tried to call her a couple of minutes earlier, and I really was in the kitchen. "Oh my goodness," he said. "You really need to stop lying, don't you?" said Denise. "Please, never mind. I told you I was going to call." The exchange continued. Believe me, I've missed quite a lot of it out. "Then send the numbers," he said. "Darling," she said, "I'm not telling you again. Call me and I'll read them to you. It isn't hard." "Go ahead and cook your food," he said. "You called me when I was in the kitchen. You can call me again now." "God bless America," he said. "If you say so, darling." "What school you attend over there?" he asked. "I don't live in America," she said. "You do, remember?" "I mean, what school you attend over there in your country?" "I went to Guilford County School," she said. "Which school did you go to?" "Are you sure about that school?" he said. "Anyway, go ahead with your food." "So you lied," she said, "and you aren't going to call." "You have a problem with understanding," he said. "And you haven't told me which school you went to." "I can't deal with that now," he said. "Have to go now." And so our man disappeared for the day. The following morning, our man was back. "Have you booked your flight?" asked Denise. "I need to know when you're coming so I can do some shopping. Also, which hotel are you staying in?" I'm coming next week, he said. Oh, how exciting! Which day? Weekend, he said. Which day? And when is your flight arriving? She asked. Friday night, he said. My flight here is 11:45 p.m. OK, she said. Where are you staying? Don't know for now. How can you ask me that when you refuse to send the card numbers to check hotels online in your country? First, she said, I didn't refuse to send you the card number. I've told you dozens of times that if you call me, I'll give it to you. Second, you're online. I'm not that stupid. You're messaging me now, so I know you can look up hotels. So please stop lying to me. Changing tack, our man's thoughts returned to money. You got up to 1,000 in your bank account, he asked. Of course I have, darling, said Denise. OK, he said, searching online for a good hotel. Where do you live? See, I knew you were online, she said. You've booked a flight and you don't know where I live. Have not booked yet, he said. So where do you live? So you lied again, she said. You told me what time your flight was arriving. Why'd you tell so many lies? It makes it really hard to have a conversation with you. I told you, you have issues with understanding, he replied. Flight leaving for other countries. I'm glad he explained that. You told me which day and what time, she said. I told you 11:45 p.m. because I want a flight at night, he said. Yes, so if you know it arrives at 11:45, then you must know which flight you're on, mustn't you? When did I tell you I booked my ticket already, he said. So you haven't booked a ticket, so you can't know what time you're arriving, can you? There might not be any seats left on the flight. I told you next week, he said. You told me which day, said Denise, and this pointless argument, like most of their pointless arguments, rumbled on, and on, and on. Go get a phone, he said. Get a real phone before I get there. Get a phone so we can talk and video call as well. I've got a phone in the hall, darling, she said. You told me you don't have a phone. I've told you many times, said Denise. I don't have a mobile phone. I have a landline phone that's plugged into the wall in my hall. I really shouldn't have to keep telling you that, should I? You can't do that with a landline phone, he said. You need to get a phone. And then, finally, after a lot more arguing, he called Denise. Hello, darling.
Yeah, what can do though? What I said?
Pardon? I didn't hear what you said, darling.
You can hear.
Sorry?
So what are you doing right now?
I can't hear you. I can't understand what you're saying, darling.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying, but I can't get you correctly. What's happening to your friend?
What do you mean, what's happened? I'm sitting here talking to you, darling.
Are you there, baby?
What?
Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't really understand you, darling.
What's happening? Can't hear you.
I can hear you, yeah. Hello, darling.
What is it that you can't understand what I'm trying to say?
What's what, darling?
I can't even hear you. Can't even hear what you're saying.
You can't hear me? I can hear you.
No. You can hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Right? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm talking to you, darling.
Oh, you really got a nice voice.
Oh, thank you, darling. So when
love your voice.
When are you coming then, darling?
I told him we were coming by the weekend.
Yeah, but do you not know when you're coming, darling? Have you booked your flight yet?
I'm going to do that next week. I told you that I'm going to do that next week. But I'm coming on Friday, so I'm going to do all the booking and everything by weekend, okay? So just relax and go shopping for me, all right? I'm going to come very soon.
Okay, what do you like to eat, darling?
Oh, baby, I'm gonna let you know, okay? First, I have to think of what I'm gonna do. Do you have cheeseburger over there?
Of course we've got cheeseburgers, darling, but I don't make them at home.
Do you do homemade food?
Of course I do, darling.
Oh, sounds good, baby. Definitely, I'm gonna have a McDonald's cheeseburger. That's my favorite.
Oh, well, we've got a McDonald's in Guildford, darling. I'll take you there.
Oh, good, baby. I can't wait to be there, so you're gonna take me there.
Yeah, of course I'll take you there, but you can't just live on McDonald's, can you?
Sorry? You saw what I can hear. You saw what?
I said you can't just live on McDonald's. You need proper food.
Well, but you said you can do homemade food, right?
Of course I can, darling. I've been cooking for years.
That sounds good, baby. So I'm gonna tell what you're gonna cook for me right now, all right?
Of course, darling.
All right. So I'm gonna call you in the morning, all right? I'm gonna call you first thing in the morning. I'm gonna tell you when the flight is booked. I'm gonna tell you everything, so you're gonna prepare for me, all right?
Of course I will, darling.
And I hope you're gonna take me around when I get there.
I'm gonna do what when you get here?
You're gonna take me around your country. You promised that.
Oh, yeah. I'll take you up to London and show you round. Of course I will.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, dude. So can we chat now?
Of course we can.
All right.
Back on chat, our man's monetary ambitions started to increase. Do you have £20,000 in your bank account? He asked. I need you to do something for me over there before I get there next week. Hello, darling, she said, seeing his message a few hours later. I think I've got about £12,000 in my bank. Why, what do you need? Good morning, darling, he said. You got £12,000 in your account? Yes, darling, I have, she said. Probably a little bit more when I get my pension next week. How much is your pension, darling? He asked. I've got my state pension, she said, and I get a pension from the school. How much do you get paid on that, darling? He asked. And it was about now that our man realised that he had an entire set of photos, and that as a scammer he was supposed to send them to his potential victim. So, for absolutely no good reason at all, he started sending them. I get £600 a month for the state pension, she said, and £450 a month from the school, and £200 a month from my Albie's pension. Why do you want to know? Hope you're going to cook homemade food for me, darling, he said, because I can't wait to get there any more. Why do you want to know about my pension, darling? She asked. You talked about it, and I asked, he said. Is there something wrong with that, darling? No, she said. I've just wondered why. How much do you earn? I earn lots, darling, he said. So, what are you going to prepare for me? And if the person that you're talking to online starts asking you questions about how much you earn, then there's a very high chance that you're talking to a scammer. How much is a lot? She asked. You said you wanted cheeseburger. Thought you said you can make homemade food, he said. I can make all sorts of things. Why won't you tell me how much you earn? Is that another thing I'm going to have to ask you lots of times? It gets awfully wearing having to keep asking. I get 5% on every single contract that comes to the company, he said. How much is that? She asked. It depends, darling, he said. You can calculate that on your own. Hope you know what 5% is. But I received $4,500 monthly. Hope your son is going to like me. Honey, I'm the company supervisor, so you know what that means. When I come, I'm going to show everything about my work and what I earn from them yearly. If you earn $4,500 monthly, even I can multiply that by 12, said Denise. We were taught proper arithmetic when I was at school. That's not very much, though, is it? You probably need to find a better paid job. I told you, I get 5% of every income in that company. What's there you can't understand? What about your son? You told me it works out at $4,500 monthly, or was that another lie? she said. Oh my goodness, he said. Anyway, never mind. And there are 12 months in a year, continued Denise. So if you multiply by 12, it will tell you how much you get a year. What's there that you can't understand? So it was another lie. Let's try again. How much do you get each month? You find it hard to understand things, darling. It scares me, he said. And then, continuing the sending photos for no good reason at all theme, he suddenly sent Denise a flurry of photos, one after the other. They were just coming through and through and through and through. I think he probably got them from an estate agent's website, or maybe that should be a real estate agent's website. I don't know, because I haven't actually gone looking for them. Then our man's thoughts returned to that old scammer obsession. Send me a photo of you. If you ever give me your address, which I know you won't, I'll post one to you, she said. And for the avoidance of doubt, in case you've forgotten, I do not have a mobile phone. You're going to post a photo to me in my country? Oh my goodness, so weird, he said. Why is that weird? She asked. Don't you have post in your country? How can you post a photo you can send online? He said. Who does that? Anyway, never mind. How can I send you a photo online? She said. Do you have memory problems? I have a digital camera. My grandson prints out my photos for me. Why won't you give me your address? Don't you know where you live? Go get a phone, he said. How will that help me post a photo to you? She asked. Don't be silly. I can put one in an envelope. Just give me your address. You know, where you live in your country. The following morning, he called Denise again. Denise had repeatedly asked him why he told her that he was earning $4,500 a month, and then changed his mind. I missed recording the beginning of this call. I wasn't quick enough. Yeah, well, you weren't answering my question, were you?
I told you that before. I'm gonna do others when it come, okay?
Why did you?
Don't just think so. You just keep on asking one question or the other. I told you several times before. That is not really necessary. So when I come over, I'm going to show you everything about my work and my salary. I told you that before, right?
You told me you earned $4,500. You told me you were paid $4,500 a month, and then you changed your mind. Why did you change your mind?
I never changed my mind. I was just giving you an example. Okay, I told you I have a 5% of everything that is coming from the company. I'm the supervisor there in the company, sir.
So you do earn $4,500 a month?
I am more than that. I am more than that. I'm the supervisor there in the company. Do you know what? You're very, very stubborn, baby.
So why did you tell me you earned $4,500 a month if you don't?
See, I've told you. Just stop asking about that, okay?
Well, why should I start asking? That's what you told me, darling. Were you lying again? Because I never know whether what you're saying is real or not. You change your mind with almost everything you tell me.
I never changed my mind. You just have these things about its understanding. So sometimes when I sometimes when I chat with you, I find it difficult to understand you.
Well, you said very clearly I was paid $4,500 a month. You were very clear about that.
Do you hear what I said? Did you ever read what I said to you? Did you ever read that?
I did. You said I paid $4,500 a month. Look, I'll scroll back and read you what you said. You said.
Those are the wages. Those are the wages. Okay, I told you I have 5%. Now that's what you should consider the 5%. Those $4,500 just the wages that's coming out monthly from different angles of it. Okay, so the 5% is the main thing. I told you. So you should know about what 5% means.
I know what 5% means, darling. We will talk maths.
Sometimes I'm trying to make you understand things, but you're just stubborn. You just don't want to hear.
You said here, I've got it on I've got it on the screen. You said to me, but I received $4,500 monthly. That was what you said.
You just need to just be quiet sometimes and learn so many things. Who you with?
Well, you need to type what you mean, darling, don't you?
Who you with? Who you with?
Pardon?
Who you with? Who you with?
Who am I with? I've got a cat here, darling.
Who you with? Who you with? Where's that with you?
I've got a cat here, darling. You know, it's a creature with 4 legs.
You have a cat?
Yeah, she's called Sophie.
Oh, I thought you said you live alone.
I said hello to the cat. She's here. She might even say meow in a minute. She might not. You going to say anything?
Oh.
No.
Nobody here? I thought I hear someone saying something to you. Who you with it? I didn't see nobody there.
No, it's just me and the cat.
Just your maid?
Me and the cat.
All right, okay. Sounds good. Oh, so well, you're gonna text me your address?
My address? It's 79 Flatfields Road, Merrow.
Baby, you don't need to call that for me on the phone. You just write and send it to me, right? You write it to that dude. Text me the address, so I know where I'm coming.
Well, I've just told you, darling. It's 79 Flatfields Road, Merrow.
You can just type that down, okay? You can just type that down. I can't write it down right now. You just have to write that down and send to me. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can hear you, darling.
Can you just put that down on a pen?
Put it down on a pen?
Don't you have a pen?
I've got a pen, yes, of course I got a pen, darling.
Well, you get a pen and a piece of paper. You still write to that down and type it to me like a text message.
How are you going to see what I write on a piece of paper, darling?
You don't care what I'm trying to say. Can't you just type it like a normal? Okay, do you know what happened? Do you know how you sent your number to me on Facebook?
Yes, darling, you just told me to get a pen and a piece of paper.
No, listen to me. Do you know how you sent your number to me on Facebook?
I do, darling, yes.
Yeah, that's what I want you to do. Send it to me just that way.
So why did you tell me to get a piece of paper and a pen, darling?
And so you can just write it then and you type it to me. But since you can do it, just send it to me just like the way you send your number to me, okay?
Yes, darling, so was a piece of paper and a pen another of the things you say that you didn't mean?
Listen to me, because I just don't want you to forget.
I don't think I'm going to forget where I live, darling.
Oh, all right. So you just send that to me, okay? Let me get your home address. Let me know what I'm doing, okay?
Okay, darling.
And I hope you're going to cook a homemade food for me when I get there.
Well, of course I am, darling.
And you're going to take me to where I can get my McDonald's cheeseburger?
Well, in McDonald's, obviously, darling.
All right, baby. So I'll call you back in the morning, okay?
Okay, darling.
I love you.
Bye for now, darling.
Why you're smiling? Someone is there with you?
No, only the cat. She's sitting here on the arm of the chair, darling.
All right, okay. Take care, baby.
Bye, darling. Yes, I admit it, I was laughing so hard at the end of that I couldn't disguise it. And yes, there was someone here with me, although I have no idea how he knew that, because I can't hear anything on the recording that would have given that away. And yes, there was also a cat on the arm of my chair. And yes, there will be an episode 4, because our man has no idea when to give up. And in episode 4, their audio gets into a real fight on Hangouts. Meanwhile, I hope you found this video useful. Please give it a thumbs up, please share it, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in Harrison Smith, episode 4.